What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Tarun Shetty vlog. I'm just vlogging. There's no point to this video. I'm headed to the grocery store. All I do here in Florida is go to the grocery store like every other day, it seems like. But that's what my purpose is, to go to the grocery store and get shit for my parents. It's okay. I enjoy getting out of the house. But I hope everyone's having a good day. I got to do stand-up comedy yesterday for the first time in like a year. Honestly, like, did I even upload this clip yet? I don't even know if I uploaded it, but I signed up for like an open mic, like a coffee shop. I knew it was gonna be hard, so I just did like the Bobby Con stuff, because those coffee shops, like music, people were like loud, and it was loud. Like people weren't even paying attention, so I just did a character, and I was like, let me just get on stage and just have some fun. But it was definitely interesting being back on stage. I think if you do comedy long enough, it's like a built-in muscle, like riding a bike, and it kind of just comes back to you, and you have to just, get on stage. But, I kind of left that show like it's kind of exhausted, like, I called my friend Darren up afterwards, and I was like, dude, I'm sick of doing these shitty shows. And which is weird, because I signed up for the show. But that's just me being a comic and being angry at the world. That's who I am. Welcome. Ladies, I'm single. But I did hear some great advice that I wanted to share. I was listening to this guy named Chase Jarvis, who's pretty good. He's got this really great podcast, and he was interviewing this guy named Ryan Holiday. And anyways, cut to the chase. They were talking about writing, and Chase asked me, he goes, how are you able to write so much? And the guy was like, man, it's just who I am. It's like part of my system. Like, I write every day. And I feel like, for me, like, I struggle with that a lot. I'm like, how can I write every day? Like, how can I make something part of me? Like, I'm so like ADD. I'm doing like 10 different things at once. But I thought that was really great advice. Like, whatever you do in life, you have to kind of make it a part of you, like your DNA fabric. That's really the only way to do anything, how to get good at anything. Because I said this before, nobody really cares about, especially the arts. Nobody gives a fuck about what you're doing, and you have to kind of stand out. And the only way to stand out is to get really good at it, and then just people are like, who is this guy? And at that point, you can, you can charge whatever you want for your service. That's just how the world is. I might go back to California in a few weeks. I'm not really sure. It's like debatable, up in the air. My place is still there. My car is still there. I'm still a registered California person. So I guess I have to go back at some point. But I sometimes wonder, because obviously, like, I moved to LA to like make it in showbiz, and honestly, I don't think I made it in showbiz. I just did a bunch of shit, and I guess however you want to define making it, it's up to you. But I always think, like, would I have gone to California if I knew this was the result? And I think that's where people get tripped up, because they think, man, what if? And I think I would have done everything exactly the same, because I think the struggle makes you who you are as a person, which a lot of people don't understand. Like, I think they think you have to have results all the time, and sometimes that's not what life is. And just because people are successful doesn't mean they're always happy. Like, I'm pretty much just existing. I'm not happy, but I'm not like miserable. I'm just like floating through life sometimes. And that's okay. I think that's like a step up for me, because there was a time when I was really miserable, and you kind of just figure out how your operating system works. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos. My commercial agent dropped me, right? They just dropped me. And I was kind of upset about it, because I was like, man, there's no loyalty in this business. And I have a theatrical agent, which is really hard to get. She's really good. Gets me like 3 auditions a week, 2 auditions a week. And I was like, man, this chick's gonna drop me too. There's no question about it. So I emailed her yesterday, and because I've been like off her radar for months. And I was like, hey, look, I'm sorry I'm not there, and I gotta hang out here a little bit longer because, you know, stuff's going on in my family. And I thought for sure she was gonna drop me, and she replied back, she goes, hey, you know what? Just stay as long as you need to. It's cool with me. You know, we'll work together when you get back. And I thought that was really cool. Like, her name's Courtney Peldon, by the way, at Aqua. Amazing agent, amazing person. And that's really rare to find in Hollywood. Just like an agent who's not all about the money. Like, she's like a good person. And that's part of it. But I think part of it's because, I'm just guessing here, she used to be an actress. And she's like my age, so maybe she's gone through stuff. I don't know her life at all. But I'm just assuming that anybody who's like an actor or like an artist who like works on the business side, they sort of get it. Like when I was working on the business side of entertainment, I felt like I was really good at it because I understood what artists felt. Because so many times these business people, they're just like on another level. Like they don't understand anything. So if you can find someone who understands and has empathy, that's big time. Hold on to that. So I told my mom that, and I was like, Mom, you know, this agent in LA, she wants to represent me still. And my mom brought up a good point. She's like, what are you doing exactly? She's like, you know, I have another book coming out, which should be I'm excited about this. I'm gonna probably self-publish it in like a month. And I worked like a year and a half on this book. And my mom was like, well, what are you doing? I mean, you're doing like 3 different things, like you stand up, writing. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not really doing stand up. I'm just kind of fucking around with it right now. But I thought about that, and I think, look, if you had to take away everything that I was doing, for sure, the one thing which I could not live without is being able to write. And I think that just answers my question. Like, I'm a writer. Like, that's what I do. I write. So circling back to what I was talking about, Ryan Holiday, I was like, I have to figure out how to make like writing part of my DNA, because honestly, nobody's paying me right now to be a writer. I'm not even like a screenwriter. Like I write stuff, but like I'm not like a Hollywood screenwriter or anything like that. So I was thinking about that for my own journey. I was like, how can I be a writer and you know, make this part of a daily thing instead of being so scatterbrained all the time and doing like 100 different things. So by the way, here I am at the grocery store. It's called Publix. I don't know if people know what Publix is, but it's basically like the Florida grocery store. I guess it's cool. I don't know, man. Like I'm here like all the time, and there's like a Publix, like literally there's like 2 Publixes right near me. There's one like to the left, one to the right, and this is like the bigger one that just opened, and there's nobody here, and I love it because, you know, I can go right through. The hard thing about working in Hollywood, and this is where I get really jealous about my friends who have jobs, it's like you have a job, like you get paid for your job, right? Like every week, you know, you have an income. I know no job is secure. Like that's a myth. Any job you can get fired and you can be homeless the next day. But like entertainment is like so random sometimes. Like you have no idea like where the next paycheck is coming from, if there is a paycheck. So sometimes I like look at the job boards and I'll be like, oh, I can sell insurance. Like I've sold cars, God help me. Like I can do these jobs. And sometimes I'm like, this is like shit I would never have thought of like 20 years ago. Like, oh my God, I'm actually looking for like sell insurance. Like who would want to do that ever? But there comes a point in people's lives as an adult where you're like, I just want to make money. You know, you want to like put away money so you can die peacefully. I know that sounds really morbid, but these are the thoughts in my head on a daily basis, and that can affect your creativity too, because you start to like wonder if you're wasting your time doing any of this stuff, right? So again, this all loops back to the beginning of this video. Like, what do you want to do, and how can you get really good at it so you can like not have to work for anybody? For the readers out there, is an author named Charles Bukowski who worked at a post office for like years and years, and he didn't make it until he was in his 50s. And man, I don't want to wait till I'm 50 years old to like have success. I mean, I'm already in my 40s, so it's kind of depressing. But the worst is like, and I appreciate anybody who like watches my videos and they leave nice comments, but sometimes I'm just sick of hearing, like, people always leave comments like, dude, it's gonna be a matter of time before you're on a show, a TV show, or you're blow up, blah blah blah, like, or like they'll ask me to add them on Instagrams, and they'll be like, I want to be your friend now because I know you're not gonna add me when you're famous. And I hate that because, you know, I think every comic gets that, and it's been going on since I was like 20, and you know, I hate that hope. I hate that hope of like letting other people down, or, you know, honestly, nobody thinks about anybody, right? We're all so selfish. Nobody's like thinking about anybody but themselves. But in a performer's mind, we're thinking, man, this person's thinking about me. People are thinking about my Instagram. They're thinking about my YouTube page. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, this is all just delusions. By the way, I'm in my dad's Infiniti right now. This is not my car. My car is a fully loaded Camry 18. It's in LA. But this is a pretty sweet car. It's like beeping. I do get a lot of check-in phone calls though from my entertainment friends. Some of the friends I really like. Some of them I'm like, I don't trust. I feel like they're just calling me because they want to see what I'm up to. Honestly, I don't know what the hell they're calling me for. Like, I haven't heard from these guys in years, and I get these random calls, you know. But I saw this quote today by Christian Bale, and it said, I'm paraphrasing here, but it said, the only people that will critique you are people who are doing less than you. People who are working harder than you won't ever say anything. So I try to define myself by my work. Even though like my videos are dumb sometimes, I'm always like, well, let me at least put out stuff, and let me just keep constantly grinding. Maybe that's not the right strategy. Maybe I should be more laser focused, but I do feel like there's something to be said about just constantly churning out content, constantly getting better at what you do. So today I was like, you know, I was thinking about that Ryan Holiday quote about writing, and I was like, I have to write something. So I do have a third book started. It's like 30 pages in, but today I wrote like a little short blog, which I'm gonna post my Instagram tomorrow. And I was like, well, I wrote something today. If anything, I have these words that I wrote, and you know, so be it. I don't have to like write stand-up comedy every day, or, you know, make something funny. I can just write some words. That's what my career's come to. So it's Friday. I forget it's Friday. It's a big comedy night, I guess, for comedians. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are comedy nights, but honestly, the days kind of just bleed into each other for me. I really don't know what the hell day it is. I just kind of go moment to moment. And I wonder sometimes, like when I'm in Florida, I'm like, is this where I'm going to end up, like in my old age? Isn't that depressing? I mean, do people think about their old age? I mean, we're taught, I think as a society, we're taught to be like, hey, just do what you're meant to do and this will take care of itself. But man, who wants to, you know, I used to deliver food when I was in New York City to like people who needed it. And I would deliver food to like these elderly people who lived in these like 9-story walk-ups, and they hadn't left their apartment in years. So they would rely on these delivery services to bring them food. And they were in these rent-controlled apartments. So it was eye-opening. And I didn't think much of it when I was like, you know, 25 when I was doing it. But now, like, when I'm older, I'm getting older, I'm living in this retirement community, I'm like, dude, I hope to God, like, I have something. I mean, honestly, I hope I die young or I have like a shit ton of money. One or the other, because I definitely don't want to be old and just, you know, living in poverty. That would suck. And I'm still doing Bobby Kine, going to these mics. Hey, what's up? Let's get rocking. I mean, that would be pathetic. But I don't know. Maybe because I'm living in Florida, all I see is like people who are like 50 plus here. It's kind of depressing sometimes. So yesterday I was at this comedy show, and dude, some of the girls were like so hot, and I keep forgetting I'm like 40 plus now. So I was like, oh, I'm not 25 anymore, but sometimes you'll see like these old guys hanging out with these young girls. And my mom at the breakfast table today was like, so, you know, are you gonna start dating? And I was telling my mom, my friend Josh Wade, he's a comic, had this joke, and he used to talk about how like these dating apps are like the Marshalls, like rejects, right? Just everyone's like a reject there with imperfections, and you kind of get used to being single, right? Like as you get older, you kind of get set in your ways of like, oh, this is what being single is. You just kind of enjoy it, man. Like maybe it's best to be single versus being with somebody who's just a total drag on your time. I mean, I don't know. I think I've dated enough. All right, this is part 4 of the vlog. It's like an hour later from when I was wearing the plaid shirt. I don't know what the hell I was wearing, but now it's dinner time, and I'm gonna go pick up some food for my parents. It's like a food truck that comes here every Thursday night, so we get that because me and my dad are on cooking duty right now. So let's do this. What was I talking about? I was talking about like relationships or stuff. You know, one of my friends, he's a comic in New York. I don't want to say his name, but he was saying how he's like 50. And he was telling me like, you know, it's almost better to be single at a certain point, but he still wants to pull the trigger and get married. And it's so weird because like being Indian, like it's like a running joke for like South Asians, or like our parents are like, hey, when are you gonna get married? Blah, 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 blah. I think it's like for all cultures, to be honest. But I never really experienced that because, you know, I was always away from home. And now that I'm with my parents, like, it's literally like a topic like once, twice a week. And I'm just like, I am definitely not going to get married unless I've got like more stability. Which could easily change in the next couple months. But like, I was doing decently well before the pandemic, and now I'm like, I'm not making any money right now. I know it's because of the pandemic, but like dating is the last thing I want to deal with right now. Definitely, I don't want to even talk to a girl. And I've talked about having female relationships. Like, it's kind of pointless unless like they're really good friends. Sorry if you're a female, but guess what? Nobody's really banging on my door like, I want your friendship. It's not like I'm not like some super affable person here, but I don't know. I think life has a way of sorting itself out. Really, it does. But look, if I'm gonna have kids, it better be the next like 3 days, because I don't want to be like an old dad. I mean, Jesus. All right, so here I am at the food truck place. I purposely had the pickup at like 7:30, so like there's not a huge line, and I'll show you the food trucks. All right, got the food. These are crab cakes. Pretty excited. I know I've mentioned this, but I've been working out every night at the gym. I go at like 11 o'clock. There's nobody at the gym, so I just go there, and like I've lost about 8 pounds, which is pretty good. I can lose weight pretty fast. But it's really about diet. This isn't a food blog, by the way. I'm just talking about my own bullshit. But if you don't work out, I highly suggest figuring out something, because when you get older, it just comes like a freight train, and you start like, I used to burn weight so quickly, and now it's a little bit harder. It's definitely harder than it was, and like I look like shit over the pandemic. Like, it's not good. But also, just comedy-wise, it helps me just think. Like there's times in life when everything is, nothing is in control, right? Nothing is in control. But when you work out, you at least have that. Like, hey, I'm gonna do 30 minutes on the treadmill. I'm going to do 12 reps. At least you can control that and just feel a little bit better about yourself. It's like a blood adrenaline thing going on here. So I've been trying to just gun it out at the gym for no reason aside from just trying to feel better about myself. I mean, I'm not auditioning at all or trying to book any work. So there's my advice for the day. Go work out. And this concludes the vlog. What did we learn? Nothing. Hope everyone has a great week. I'll be on this again soon. Take care. See you. Bye.